Hey nurses, this is Andrea, ICU nurse, critical care nurse communicator, and life coach. And I've been doing this work of nursing that we weren't taught. And what we do well as nurses, we do really, really well. What we're learning are things that we're again going to do really well. And with what we know now and what we're learning, we're just going to be more amazing. So you get this opportunity to hear this 5-minute video from me, 5 minutes of how to have a preceptor. Now, you're going to say, what the hell does that mean? Pardon my French, but we get a preceptor that we don't choose, and we get to learn how to communicate with a preceptor and how to know what our relationship is with that preceptor. And we have a lot of thoughts going into maybe a new nursing job where your preceptor wasn't your choice, isn't your cup of tea, maybe doesn't speak your language. Well, all you need to know is that that person doesn't have to change at all. You don't have to change. You just have to know that you create your relationship with that preceptor. So what did I talk about? That they're not your cup of tea. Maybe their life is different. That's okay. The life you're sharing with them is at the bedside. And I bet there are things that you can learn. Now, they may not communicate well with you. You may not share the same learning style. So as a new nurse, you get to decide to be a great communicator, and you get to use some curiosity. Just say, man, I am so curious how you learned to do this and what worked for you, and let them share how they learned it. And then you get to share, it's been nice that you've been giving me this written stuff, but sometimes I need some hands-on, and sometimes more than one hands-on. So see how you hold that piece. So next, we also talked about how, maybe it's just not what you thought it was going to be. What part? And are you able to always remember that if you're thinking, my preceptor did this, that you need to turn it back around to you. Our relationship with our preceptor is what we're thinking about them. Now, we're not taught that in nursing school. We're not taught that as humans. But how do we know? Because some people love your preceptor and you don't. It's just like somebody loves Madonna. Not everybody loves Madonna, right? So that's how we know it's not the preceptor. So we get to decide and have the empowerment to take what we want from this relationship. And what you need is to learn how to be a nurse in this unit. Because don't think that your preceptor gives you all the skills. You obviously have the communication skills. You obviously know how to use your brain. You obviously know how to show up at work. You obviously know how to place an IV. They're helping you build a habit. And you can make that whatever experience you want. So if this work is unclear, or if these concepts are vague, you need to reach out to me at romercoaching@gmail.com. If they're not your cup of tea, that's fine. They do not have to be. They have to share a life with you at the bedside. And what can you find that you can take from your preceptor once a shift? There must be one thing you admire. And notice if you're thinking this preceptor is not my cup of tea, that's going to inform your whole day, and that blocks out everything that you're going to be learning. And it puts you at a disadvantage because you are losing your power to someone else. If you listen to how to make an impact, how you can make an impact is to go with curiosity. If you're not learning in the same way they are, get curious. What was it like when you learned this? How did you learn best? Well, may I offer? There's never a bad way to be curious. And just remember that we often have these beautiful dreams of what our preceptors will be like. And oftentimes they become that when we're more accepting at the beginning. If we're not thinking this isn't my cup of tea, you're going to see how you guys might actually share the same cup of tea. So that is how to have a preceptor in a nutshell. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Thank you, resilient nurses.